I make 400,000 on a W-2. My friends with businesses pay nothing in tax. What can I actually do besides quitting my job? Well, we wouldn't want you to be quitting your job, right? So, is it fair? Again, the tax system doesn't seem fair many times. And I'll go and explain the best way I can. The business owner gets favored somehow by the tax system. And it's not because necessarily they're special people or that the people who passed the law, and this is again just my own theory, a business owner has to take so much risk. And when you think about the fact that, 93% of the businesses fail in the first, I think, 3 years, um, that the fact that somebody was able to build a business and made it to 400,000, even if they make the exact same amount as you, the amount of risk that they have to go through is much higher. Hence, they have access to more deductions that you do not have access to as a W-2. And somebody came with a valid question. And, somebody came to me as a pilot saying, I used to be able to write off all my per diems, all the nights, all this other meals, and all the expenses that I have. I used to be able to write everything off on my return as a W-2. And a pilot can make anywhere from, 400 to maybe $600,000, right? Or maybe more. So when you think about that, the law and what was in the past unreimbursed employee expenses, which was deducted on your Schedule A as itemized, there were so many audits. Why? This is the reason, and I really want you to hear my heart. I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong or somebody did something wrong. I've had the, I don't know, the benefit of representing so many people in different types of audits. The unreimbursed employee expenses, 99% of the time, people could not prove their expenses. Over an extended period of time, when the IRS is going in and this piece of law that's in effect, and people are claiming all this expenses as an employee, which was used and abused in every way possible, that law was repealed, like it was changed. And it's because we as humans, if something good gets passed that we can actually take advantage, we are absolutely abusing the piece of law. There are so many right now that are being abused. Will that happen if the IRS starts auditing and creates projects? And if the IRS audits that piece of law and there is no compliance, meaning the people cannot prove. If you say I had uniforms, I had my dry cleaning, it was my dog, it was this, like anything that you can imagine was on those lines on the return, the IRS will take it away, which is very, very sad. Now, when that law was repealed, what happened was the employees were supposed to go back to their employers and negotiate a reimbursement from the employer. If you truly, and was the IRS standpoint, if you truly have unreimbursed employee expenses as an employee, okay, the employer should pay you reimbursed expenses, something what's called an accountable plan, right? Now, the employers, many times it was not required by the employer for you to have X, Y, and Z, right? People were deducting above and beyond what they were supposed to do. Now, that's kind of like the 2 cents of what happened, why people were able to claim expenses against their W-2 income, and now they can't. So, was it a good thing that the law was changed? I don't know if it was a good thing or not. So, as a W-2 employee with a 400,000 income, if you're single or married, depending on the state you live in, it will be very difficult for you to reduce your tax bill unless you do investments. And investments, remember, we talked about the dollar. Investments have to have very specific thing. Like I'm investing in something that could give me either a depreciation, that could give me some energy credits. It has to be an investment in which you would have out of the three things that the dollar can give you, right? Out of the appreciation, cash flow, and tax benefit, it has to be higher on the tax benefit. Okay. And this is the mistake. People who go in as a W-2 employee, they want it all. They want cash flow. They want this. If I'm going to invest in this, I want to get it all. You have to be very focused as a W-2 employee. You have to pursue the actual tax benefit because that's the only thing that will reduce your tax bill. Unlike the business owner who has access to multiple types of deductions that are available to business owners, which I will, with this, I hope this answers your question. So it requires investment, right? How much? for a 400,000 tax return, depending on if you're single or married, you cannot save money unless you invest a minimum 25 to 50K. That's a minimum, sometimes even more than that.